From two dirty painters to multiple seven-figure business owners, I'm Redion.
And I'm Karmelo.
We'll be giving you guys the insider secrets to take your trade business to the next level.
From crazy stories to proven strategies, get ready to supercharge your business with us.
Welcome to the Dirty Painters Podcast.
Today's episode, we'll be discussing how to get free leads through practices such as strategic partnerships and customer referrals. We will even be giving you our exact outreach scripts that we use when approaching the conversation of mutually beneficial partnerships. Let's get right into it.
All right. So I want to start this episode with talking about having a single channel marketing risk. So what that single channel marketing risk means is like you only rely on one channel to get your leads and get you new work. I know we are very heavily invested in social media marketing, social media advertising, Facebook ads. So we want to talk of a few of the downsides of why you cannot only rely on that. And we'll just give you the list of what we come up with, what we've seen doing this for 6 years for our businesses. And then we're going to transition to like, hey, how can you get free leads? Free meaning you're not spending any money, but you're investing your time. And how can you build good key relationships with all the scripts and how to not seem desperate when you're reaching out to those people pretty much. All right. So you want to start with number one, Karmelo?
Limited reach. While social media platforms allow you to reach a larger audience, your visibility is limited to those who actively follow or engage with your content. This means you may not be reaching potential clients who are not active on social media or are not aware of your business.
For example, let's use Instagram. A lot of people from, I'm going to say, we've got clients, but like let's say a lot of people from 55 to 65, 70, they're not on Instagram, right? So how are you reaching those customers? And a lot of times those customers are high-paying customers. They might be on Facebook, so you have to adapt and then use Facebook ads. Or for example, when we run SMS marketing campaigns, we find out that a lot of people, like big demographic of the people that we reach are people past their 50s, 60s sometimes. Those people they're not on social media. So that's one limitation that social media give you. Some of your audience, some of your potential customers, not your audience, some of your potential customers, they're not on social media. So you have to find a way to reach those people out too. That's why we start doing SMS marketing campaigns. That's why we do Nextdoor. That's why we do other testing, always testing, test.
Real life example of that, the 4,000 square foot remodel that we did 2 months ago, that wasn't a social media ad.
Correct, yeah.
Competition. Social media is a competitive space, and many other trade businesses are also utilizing these platforms to promote their services. It can be challenging to stand out among the sea of competitors and capture the attention of your target audience.
All right, so I'll go us. I'm not going to say we're the pioneers of social media advertising for painters, but we've been doing it successfully, I would say, before anybody else. And then very common pattern. We start in the market, and then a few months go by, and next thing you know, everybody and their fucking mother is running ads the same way I'm running them. I'm like, motherfucker. And I see those people checking our stories and checking everything out. And the next thing you know, they're running ads the same way. I'm like, it's not like I'm scared of the competition, but it gets saturated fast. That's why you have to take advantage of the way you run your ads in the beginning. You have to take advantage of like going in and then dominating the market from the beginning, because eventually your competitors, they'll be like, oh, I keep seeing these guys' ads. They must be working. Let me try them out. So it gets saturated really fast. That's why you always have to come up with ideas, how to make your ads more creative, how to make them more engaging, how to constantly test them. That way you're always a step ahead of the people that try and copy you. And then guys, we have unlimited examples of people trying to copy us in every market. Not only the content, but like the way that we run our advertising.
Changing algorithms. Social media algorithms are constantly evolving, which can impact the visibility of your content. Changes in algorithms can affect the reach and engagement of your posts, potentially reducing the effectiveness of your social media marketing efforts.
So if you're strictly relying on organic content, I'm sure you're taking a big hit right now with the algorithm changing pretty much every week. When you do paid ads, you'll always get results if your creatives are good, if your marketing campaigns are good. But like if you're strictly relying on organic content, like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I get a lot of organic leads. I mean, you can't support a real business with just organic leads, because it's the content it won't show you to the people that in the market that you are at. And then also in other businesses, not just services, the Algorithm only changes, and you always have to adapt and test to see what works or not. That's why we don't really rely on organic content. We like doing the organic content for the clout and for the visibility, and then it gives you a social equity, having a lot of followers and a lot of posts with engagement. But don't focus on getting a lot of likes. Don't focus on getting a lot of views, going viral, and all that stuff. That doesn't pay the bills in a service-based business.
Reliance on platforms. Relying solely on social media platforms for job security leaves your business vulnerable to any changes or issues that may arise. If a social media platform were to shut down or change its policies, it could have a significant impact on your marketing strategy and ability to generate leads.
And that's where single marketing channel risk comes. Like, you cannot rely on the platform because regulations, algorithm changes, platforms going out of business, all these things that you can't just put all your eggs in one basket, because something can go south, and then next thing you know, you don't have the platform anymore. So what are you doing? Always make sure you have the next move ready. All right, so we're gonna talk about getting free leads, and this is great if you're starting out and then you don't have enough money to put in. But also, I think you should still be doing this. You should still invest time or have somebody that does the outreach to potential customers that you can build key relationships. Karmelo is gonna be giving you guys the scripts. We're gonna kind of like go back and forth, role play of the exact scripts that we use when we try and initiate a relationship. And these are scripts that we back tested in real life. Like, that's how we made most of our key relationships, and that's how we do our outreach when we go into a new market. Like, hey, we exist, we're pretty good. Would you like us to paint something for you? Pretty much, that's it. Because having a strong referral network with realtors, designers, and we keep saying designers are your number one friend in this business. You have to have strong relations with designers. I'm not saying just one, but have multiple designers that you offer your services to. And how do you start that relationship? Give them value. Give them value, and then always make sure you have their back no matter what. I'll use one of our designers as an example. When we first came to Tampa, we initiated the relationship. We started doing some work together. And then, the first project didn't go as well. It was a pretty big project. But we always, anything change, like the customer was picky, they would change their mind about something else and we have to redo it. That first project, we made sure we told the designer, hey, no matter what changes, we're not gonna give you like a pushback. We're gonna get it done so the customer is happy 100%, and then we can figure it out later. So that initiating a relationship like that and doing whatever it takes to not lose the trust of the designer will build that LTV, that long-term relationship that she's gonna be like, okay, even if things go wrong, these guys, they're gonna stand behind it. Designers are number one. Then realtors. With realtors, I'm gonna put a little disclaimer here. Make sure when you have a referral, like a monetary referral relationship with them, make sure you check the laws. Because a lot of states, like for example, in Michigan, when we're in Michigan, you couldn't give them more than
$200.
$200 in a gift card. So make sure you test out, you read about research. Do your research on those laws before you start reaching out people, because you can get them in trouble. And then if they feel like they're gonna get in trouble from that initial message that you sent, then they're gonna ghost you, and they're not even gonna be interested. Like Florida is a free market. Like you can give them a referral fee, you can give them whatever you can do. So make sure you research in whatever state you are, the local laws for realtors and the monetary referral fee. Then general contractors, that's another great way to get work. It's a little bit tricky with general contractors because a lot of times they're a pain in the ass to work with. So you have to go through a lot. One thing that I like doing before establishing a relationship with a contractor, a GC, because we've been burned in the past with contractors. And I'll use my friend Anthony as an example down in Fort Myers. He was dealing with a contractor. He did great work. The customer was happy with his. But it took him 3 months to pay him because the guy was horrible at managing financials. So my friend was like, hey man, we finished the job. The customer is happy. When are you going to pay me? Those are like, he was a smaller contractor, he was horrible probably at cash flowing and paying people out. So those are the things that I think you need to be doing your research before you establish a relationship with a contractor. How big are they? Do they have a reputation of not paying guys? Why is he reaching out to me? Why was he not happy with his last painter? Why is he looking for a new painter? All those are some questions, not only general contractors, but with builders too. That's why we don't do a lot of work with builders. They're very hard to work with, and they don't pay on time, which if you're a cash flowing business, you have to make sure you get paid. Like we stressed out in previous episodes, cash flow is huge. You have to be able to pay your bills. You have to be able to pay your guys and materials. So do your research when you working with general contractors and builders. Make sure they're reputable enough. Make sure if you can find some other painter that work for them, or ask them like, hey, one question I like asking them is, what happened to your last painter? And let them talk. It's like you're interviewing them pretty much. What happened to your last painter? Why are you not using him? Why are you looking for a new painter? And based on their answers, I'll be able to put a good profile. It's like, oh, the guy was horrible and that. I'm like, okay, maybe we'll give it a try. But if their answer is kind of shady and like, oh yeah, they're not giving you a lot of information, then my red flags will start raising. I'm like, were you paying him on time? What happened? Why did the painter get pissed? Because a lot of times it's not always the painter's fault. A lot of times those contractors, they're really bad to work for. Speaking from personal experience.
Yeah, their schedule might not be right. So when the painters are scheduled to come in, drywall is still not put up, that sort of thing.
Also, a lot of general contractors are really bad at time management. And like Karmelo said, like scheduling things. You don't want to be dragging out. You can't just go there and paint the walls and come back and do something else 2 weeks later. Like that's another thing. Like I'm always aware. We do some work for general contractors, but we're not very heavily in them, because another thing is like a lot of them are like micromanagers, and then like they're horrible at managing, but they want to be micromanagers, and then they don't know a lot of things, and then they say one thing to the customer, and then you say something else to the customer, and then everything gets mixed up, and just I don't like it. If you can find somebody good that you can have a good relationship and they trust you to handle the painting phase from A to Z, then great. But if they're the kind of contractor that's gonna be like, hey, do this, do that, they say something else to the customer, red flag. You don't need that stress in your life, guys. Those are the main people that we work in a referral kind of like in a partnership, like a key relationship partnership. But you can literally reach out to anybody that's in the property, like in the home service industry, like property managers, tile guys, roofers. Roofers are when we really need the exterior work, I reach out to roofing companies and I'm like, hey, when you guys change a roof and they need their exterior painted, let us know. You can add it on your price, or you can just give us the lead and then we'll give you a referral fee. And we do the same for roofers. Like when we go out on an exterior, we can tell if the roof is pretty bad and it needs a replacement. So we're like, hey, I have a great roofing company that can give you a free estimate. Roofers are good for exteriors. Roofers, siding guys, paving guys, like the people who do like the pavers and the hardscape, those are great people to reach out and then build that relationship. Like, hey, if I see any lead, if I get any people that need your services, I'll refer them to you, and then you can work out the referral fee, and they do the same for you. So in the beginning, we tried a lot of scripts. We tried scripts like, hey, give me work kind of scripts, desperate scripts, like I need to fill out my calendar. Those didn't work. What we figured out is like you have to approach them like you're trying to be their friend pretty much. You're trying to establish a relationship that you want to be their friend. You're not there just to get work from them. You're trying to approach it like, hey, I'm here. What can I do for you? What kind of value can I give you? And then I'm a big fan, especially when we're working with designers. If you starting a business, or if you're not really well known in the business, discount your services or do them at cost. Be like, hey, let me show you what I can do. In the beginning, we were doing a lot of free vanities. We were doing a lot of test samples for them, like small stuff that it doesn't cost much for us to produce, but they can see our quality of work and they can see what we can do. Also, starting small, it's a great way to establish a relationship because they also see how well you communicate if you show up on time. Because remember, in this phase, you're trying to build trust with them, because you have to be a trustworthy, valuable asset to them so they can refer you to your customer. Because a lot of times, people who can afford designers, they got money. So they're going to be big ticket jobs. They're going to be jobs that you're not going to be working for just a $500,000 home. Like those homes, they won't hire a designer. You're going to be working for homes in the millions. So to get your foot in the door for those kind of people, they have to trust you. You have to build value to them. You have to be a valuable asset.
All right, so should we start going over the scripts? Let's go with the realtor.
Who's going to be Laura, me or you?
Oh, that's the designer script.
Oh, okay.
We have different names. We have Laura, the designer. We have Mark, the GC, and then we have David, the realtor.
I'll be David?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. Are you calling me? Are you DMing me? Or how are you reaching out to me?
I am DMing you.
Okay. All right. Are we following each other? Or?
I'm following you.
Okay. Am I following you?
No.
Okay. All right.
Hey, David, this is Karmelo from Olympian Painting. How are you doing?
Hey, Karmelo. I'm good. Thank you. What's up?
I wanted to discuss with you about an exciting opportunity for us to collaborate. I see you're a top performer in the Tampa Bay area, and I really think we could provide some value to you and your clients.
What do you have in mind?
I propose offering your clients a special package where we provide painting consultations and services for their listings, or when you're working with buyers, we have move-in specials for them. Studies show that a well-maintained property sells faster and at a higher price.
That sounds pretty good. Can you give me some more information about it?
Of course. Essentially, what we do is we provide exclusive rates and priority services for any properties you list or any buyers you're working with. We'll ensure they're perfectly painted to boost curb appeal and overall presentation.
Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
As your go-to painter, we are committed to making this a seamless and value-driven relationship. And for you to display to your clients that working with you, they not only get access to a top-rated performer like yourself, but also a top-rated painting contractor to take care of their home. And then at this point, depending on their answer, I discuss the referral program.
So how I like doing it is like, hey, after they tell me, like, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I like ending the conversation with a call to action. I'm like, hey, do you have 10 minutes to jump on a phone call that we can discuss our referral program? And then they should be, once they hear referral program, they'll be like, okay, they'll be interested. They want to jump on the phone with you. So when you jump on the phone with them, and we have this nice PDF that we also send them out with all our services, some general pricing, and then also we discuss the referral incentives that they come in with, like being a preferred vendor for them, and then them recommending us to their clientele. So on the phone call, let's say you jump on a call and you're like, hey, what's up, David? Hey man, how you doing? If you have time, and if, for example, you can go on the profiles and you can see if a realtor is killing it, if they're doing multi-million-dollar listings. You can go on the profile and see all that. So we'll use example. We'll say David only handles multi-million-dollar properties by the water. I don't know, deals with VIP clients, and you see like that guy is a fucking killer. So for that prospect, what I would be like, hey man, let's go get lunch, or let's go to dinner, or let's something that you can be face to face with him, so they can see that you're a presentable person. You're not just a dirty painter. You're well spoken. You show up in a nice truck. You don't show up with Joe Small's beater. Try and get those people to meet in person. Leave it for a quick 30-minute coffee. You know, I usually like doing lunch with them, like an hour lunch, so we can kind of see if we like working with each other. If we end up going to lunch, if it's some top performer, then I'm going to invest the time out of my day to go out there and be like, okay, there's a potential opportunity for me to get into those multi-million-dollar listing homes and do work there. So the ROI for me spending 1 hour and buying lunch for somebody, it's going to be immense. And then on those luncheons, you know, you're trying to keep it casual, you're trying to be friends, you ask them about their life, you ask them, like, you're trying to be friendly. And then I like delivering, I email it to them in our PDF package that has all our services, befores and afters, credentials, and all that. Like, hey, here, keep this for your own records. And then we discuss the referral fees. Based on the laws, it's good to discuss these things in person. Like, hey, what value can I bring to you? I'm never going to let you down. You see, I have a great reputation. Or if you're trying to build your reputation, I'm building my business. Be honest. Be like, hey, I started the business, but I have experience in the painting industry and all that. I want to build my portfolio. I want to build my referral network. Can you help me with that? And then in return, you know, I have referral fees and I refer you to people. It's hard for us to, because if you're working with 100 realtors, who are you going to refer out first? That's why the monetary referral fee is better. And then you discuss with them what the relationship will look like. Hey, if you bring me X project, X size, I can give a referral fee for X amount. Or I can give your customer a discount and then, you know, you get a referral fee. Those are the ways that lunch can go. Like, those are things that you're going to be talking about. And then don't expect to get work right away. You have to be staying in touch with that guy. And a thing that I like doing, that I used to do a lot in the beginning when we were building those referral networks, is I like their posts. I comment on them, just like, oh, great, that's a beautiful house, that's amazing. Like, just liking, just staying relevant, being in their sphere of visibility. Just, hey, oh, Olympian liked my post, or be supportive of them. Like their post, double tap their stories if they have a cool listing and all that. Don't just ask. Just be supportive of their business as well.
And then something else I just want to paraphrase a little bit. I also go back to the either doing a vanity or an accent wall in their house, just so like, hey, I know I said we're the top rated painting contractor, but I also want to prove it to you. So you know I walk the talk. So you're not just going to be recommending anybody to your clients. I want to make sure that when you say our name, that they're in good hands.
Yep. So just do their vanity or something, or an accent wall. So that's for David being a killer realtor. Let's say David is just an average realtor. He doesn't do the multi-million-dollar homes. Then I'm going to jump on the call and be like, hey, this is our referral program. I'll give them all the incentives. I'll give them like how we work. I'll email them the PDF again. Still, I'll send them the PDF, and then same thing. We'll stay relevant. We'll stay in their sphere of visibility. Like we'll support their business pretty much. And then liking somebody's post is you're supporting their business and you're staying relevant.
And then the point I make across all the scripts is I make sure I compliment everybody on their work or on their skill level. And I also tell them, hey, this is how we can provide value to you or to you and your clients.
Exactly.
So we're working for them. We're not making them, give us work.
And this kind of outreach with realtors, it's a volume game. So you can't do 10 and be like, oh, this doesn't work. You have to do like 1,000. Everybody's a realtor. Literally.
Especially down here.
Yeah, especially in Florida, everybody's a realtor. So you can't just do 10 and be like, oh, it doesn't work. You have to do like 1,000, 10,000. Build a list. Build an outreach list. I'm like, okay, I hit this guy up. I texted this guy. Build a list, categorize them, top performance. See who does the high-end residential real estate. See who deals with the multi-million-dollar properties. And then pay more attention to them, because those are the high-ticket projects you want to be working with. And then it's a volume game. You have to be doing a lot of touches. You have to be reaching out to a lot of people. You can't just do 10 and then say, oh, fuck this, I'm not doing it. Especially if you're trying to get free leads. Because let's say you do 10,000 and 1% converts and start getting you work. That's some good numbers, If you do 10 and 1% converts, then That's less than a person. That's like a tenth of a person.
If you do 10, because this is not going to cost you too much time, let's say 20 minutes, you don't expect to get out of 20 minutes worth of work, $1,000 worth of projects.
Exactly. So you have to be doing 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week. But it works. It worked great, especially if you're a startup business and you want to put yourself out there. This is the homework that you have to do. This is like the legwork that you have to put, because it's free. It only costs you your time. And when you're starting in the business in the beginning, you have more time than you have money.
All right, moving on to the designer.
Okay.
Hey, Jack, I hope you're doing well. My name is Karmelo, and I'm the owner of Olympian Painting.
Hey, Karmelo, I'm good. Thank you. How can I help you?
I've been admiring your work that I see on Instagram, and I think our services will complement your work really well. And I'd love to explore a potential partnership between the two of us.
Sure. What do you have in mind?
So what we can do for you, we can handle all the painting and finishing aspects of your projects. And as Tampa's best painter for the last 2 years, I think having us work together in your corner, it will be very beneficial for you and your clients, knowing that their home is in good hands and they'll receive top quality work and streamlined timelines, since you'll be working with just one painting contractor.
That sounds interesting. Do you have any examples or references I could look at?
Certainly. So that's what I was going to do next, actually. You can see most of our projects on our Instagram, and I can also point you to a few high-end projects we've done work for, so you can see for yourself in person. Would you consider meeting me at one of our job sites, or I could meet you somewhere for lunch or coffee, so you can see how we work and the level of craftsmanship you can expect from us?
Got it. Let's set something up.
And then again, here is I go over the referral program for them. And then I can also provide value to them. Like, hey, I can give you a free sample for you to have on your showcases when you go to a client's house. And let's say they want to do their cabinets. You can show them, hey, this is the level of product I can give you, like a small little square.
Yeah, all the designers will deliver the PDF, obviously, like the little booklet that we have for them, and also deliver samples of our cabinets, because a lot of designers, they deal with a lot of kitchens and then cabinets and all that. So we deliver like, hey, this is our spray finish, this is our product pretty much. This is our personal guarantee on it. We back it. That's what you can have peace of mind referring us to your customers because we do top work. But let's say you're not Tampa's best painter. You don't have a big referral fee. How are you going to approach that? How are you going to get Jack to trust you?
Again, just providing value by doing something for you so you can see the work firsthand, that I'm going to be punctual, you can rely on me, top quality work, obviously. And if ever things go south, like you mentioned earlier, we'll be there to back you up throughout the whole process to make sure your client is completely satisfied by the end of everything.
So me, when I do outreach, I'm a little bit more aggressive. And then you have to do your homework. You have to look at their business. You have to look at their pages. And then based on the projects that they post, based on the clientele, the houses that they work on, I can identify, and that's going to come with time. I can identify who's going to be my ideal key relationship that's going to get me in the projects that I want to get in. So how I'm going to start, like, hey, Jack, are you open for me to doing a free vanity for you? Do you have any vanities at home that you think you'd like change the color, or maybe your island or something like that? I immediately open up with a value proposition. Immediately, right away, like, hey, let me do something for you, man. Let me showcase your work. Painting a vanity is gonna cost you like what? $300, $400, or let's say $500. So you invest, you give value, and then when you give that goodwill to them, you make them kind of like, okay, these guys are great. They did what they're supposed to do. The product is good. Now they kind of feel, what's the word? Obligated subconsciously to bring you value too. So once you identify those prospects, immediately open up like, hey, let me do something for you, man. This script is good when you are Tampa's best painter and you have the social proof and all that. But let's say you don't. Let's say you just started in the market. Let's say nobody knows your existence. Open up. Your opening line should just be like, hey, I have value for you. Let me do it. Nothing. No strings attached. No, like, we'll do it. Let us show you what we can do. And then we did that a lot in Tampa in the beginning because nobody knew us. Nobody knew existed. And then I would say I did at least 30 vanities, islands, whatever we're doing, just for free. It took time. We're doing them ourselves, and the average cost would be like $400, $500. But all those customers, like for example, like Fresh Eye Designs, we did an island for them for their office, and then look what projects we're getting from them now. It's crazy. Multi-million-dollar homes, big projects, big ticket projects, $100,000 plus projects. So that $500 island, the return on it is infinite, pretty much. It just keeps going up and up. For me, like, hey, let me do something for you guys. And you can do that. A lot of successful like real estate offices, they have legit offices. You can just go in there and be like, hey, do you guys have anything that you need painted, or like an island, or like a furniture piece or something? We'd love for you guys to see our work, and let us showcase our work, and then see what we deliver, and then we can discuss the referral programs. That's another good way. Because all the successful companies that you want to become a key relationship partner with them, they're going to have offices, they're going to have nice houses. Somebody always has something that needs to get painted. Go in there with a value proposition right off the bat if you're just starting out. If you have a strong brand and you want to increase your output, you want to get more high-ticket projects, then the script that we just gave you is great. But if you're just starting out, then go in there with a value proposition like, hey, let me paint something for you. Let me show you what I can do. It works. And then the return on investment on the $500 that you're going to spend of your time, it's infinite if you do everything right. If you fuck up the job, then
don't expect anything.
Don't expect anything.
But yeah, I also like the sample boards. Just have like a little 1x1 piece that you can give to them, and it doesn't really take you too much time to finish that. So when they go to their appointments and they have that on their toolbox, or hey, this is what my painter can do for you, that's a great expectation to set there with your client.
Also, another good thing that when you run awareness ads on social media, you'll notice not only homeowners follow you, but you're gonna get a lot of followers from realtors, designers. don't, as soon as they follow you, don't immediately go and like, boom, hey,
Work.
Give it some time. Like some of their posts, just kind of like, I don't know how to explain it exactly in words, but like, don't be too direct as soon as they follow you. Like, hey, just give it some time. Add them on your follow-up list, and then make sure every time they show up, follow them back, obviously. Every time their posts show up, like them, double tap on their stories. Do those things that they're going to start taking notice, like, okay, these guys exist. That's a great way to start. That's how we start our key relationships, by supporting them. And then, a week goes by, 2 weeks go by. You kind of also get a feel of what kind of work they do, because you have realtors that are selling $200,000 homes. I'm no offense, but I'm good, man. Or you have realtors that they specialize in fix and flips and turning around properties. That's not the kind of work I do. So that kind of period, like a week or two, you kind of see also and feel them out what kind of work they do. Or they might be working in an area that you don't really want to work in. Then it's not worth investing the time, to try and establish a relationship. But if a designer follows you and then all she does is like high-end work, you like her work, like, okay, these are the projects I want to be in, you send them a DM. If they don't respond to the DM, send them an email. Because a lot of times the DMs will go like on the requests and they don't even see them. So send a DM first, then email them, and then go in their office if it's a designer that has an office. And then like the biggest designers that we work with, they all have a base of operations. And going there, maybe buy lunch for the whole office. Or that works really well for real estate offices. And we did that in Miami too. We went to a Keller Williams office that does super high end down there. And we just brought coffee and we brought donuts and stuff like that. And they appreciate it. So do those things, but be aware enough to identify where is it valuable enough to invest time and money to build those key relationships.
The general contractor script is almost the same, with the only difference is the compliment changes to I've been admiring your work and I see your signs out while driving around town, and I think our services will complement your work really well. So that's the only difference, and I think we've gone through all the pointers that we would go over with general contractors too. And you mentioned earlier the questions that we like to ask them just so we can get a feel of how working with them what we would expect to.
So the contractors, again, it's a little bit tricky. Do your homework definitely with the contractors. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And then if you want to be aggressive with them, hey, Mark, do you have any project that you like an estimate on? If you want to be aggressive with them. If it's a contractor that you really want to work with. And we, for example, what's his name? Santiago. Mm-hmm. That guy is great. And then he has a kitchen and bath remodeling business. And then every time he doesn't gut the full kitchen, he calls us to repaint it. And he's giving us so many projects, cabinets, vanities, that he doesn't sell his cabinet services, but he sells Olympia's refinishing services. And then those projects will bring like full interiors, exteriors. We've done all kinds of projects with this guy. He's phenomenal. Kitchen and bath contractor is phenomenal to work for, because if somebody has money to renovate their whole kitchen and drop 100 G's on getting their whole kitchen done, or the whole bathrooms, they're a high-ticket customer. And then obviously every time you got your kitchen and you got your bathrooms, there's going to be some painting needed, right? That's why it's good to have with those kitchen and bath. Those are my favorite to work with, because if they sell the product, full renovation, full gut of a kitchen, they're going to need painting. If they don't, then they're going to need somebody to refer to refinish the cabinets. Or we do tile too, or they need labor for tile. And then those guys, they don't price cheap. Those are great guys to work for. I love working for kitchen and bath contractors. And then going back to the other contractors. See, another thing that I'm going to make sure you discuss, having the difficult conversations up front, like, hey, what are your payment terms? Like my payment terms, I require 50% deposit, 50% due upon completion. Are you able to meet those terms? With designers or realtors, those terms, there's no like friction on that. Usually they just go with your terms. But with contractors, because the customer usually hires the contractor to handle all the aspects. So you have to make sure you discuss the terms upfront with them. Like, hey, this is how I work. Are we a good fit for each other? If they're like, no, you start the project, you have to front materials, you have to do all this, and then I pay you after 14 days after you submit an invoice. It's not going to work for me.
Cash flowing the project on your end, that's
I'm not gonna be there and chasing money. No. And we had, what were those geeks that we did some work for?
I remember.
Yeah,
Let's not list names.
Yeah, just like we finished the project, we made the terms clearly, and then we're like, hey, the project is done, customer is happy. When are we getting paid? It literally says on the contract, due upon completion. Like, I cannot make it any more clear. And the guy's like, what did he text? He's like, hey, man,
I know you want to get paid, but hold on.
yeah, like, I'm like, bro, no. What do you mean, hold on? What do you mean, like, you have to submit an invoice? Like, it literally says due upon completion. And, like, the guy gave us attitude.
Signature, everything
Yeah.
agreed upon. And then it was not only that, but it was scheduled for a month and a half prior. We would show up there. Oh, it's not ready for you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting me know and scheduling guys for here today.
Yeah.
No, I have to send them over to another project.
It happened, like, why? Twice or three times? Three times. And then he gives us attitude when it comes time to pay him. So that guy definitely he hits us up again. I'm like, bro, I'm good. No, I'm good. Or I'll say this example too. So this guy, he's a project manager, okay, for a big construction company. He gets me out. I bid projects for him, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I'll give you like 7% referral fee, like big projects too. He's like, yeah, man, I got you and all that. Yeah, the projects are yours. So what the guy was doing, he was just fishing prices from me, and then making sim, and then he was taking my prices, and then going to other painters and contractors, and then showing them my price and undercutting me. And next thing you know, I drive by, I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, he told me this project is gonna be mine and all that. And then next thing you know, I have some other painting company painting the project. I'm like, Carmelo, what the fuck?
And then he reached out again, and you're
Yeah,
like,
he
bro,
reached-
if
I'm
you're
like-
gonna work at it,
Yeah.
I'm not really interested.
No,
Don't waste my time.
I literally told him, like, bro, don't waste my fucking time, man. I bid 6 projects for you. Let's say 2 hours each project. I'm like 12 hours at a time. Like, you owe me like 30 G's.
I'll send you the
those-
invoice.
Yeah, like, those are the things that they'll happen. You know, people bullshit you. Make sure that, hey, do not waste my time. And then usually, like, also, if somebody does that with us, then I'm done. They never get a second chance. You don't need to be dealing with those people, especially people who they're gonna pretend like all nice and that, and they're gonna give you work, and the next thing you know, they're just using your prices to undercut you and get cheaper prices. And it's like I don't like that strategy that they use. I don't want to be working with those people, no matter what kind of projects they bring us.
Other ways you can get free leads besides these scripts. Obviously, your organic social content.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about organic, but do not rely on organic social content. We're a local brick and mortar business. If my post goes viral and get 10 million views, how many of those 10 million views are in Tampa? Probably not many. I mean, you can still get a few, but I would not really rely on organic content. Networking events. We talked about networking events. Networking events, if done right, can bring a lot of results. Don't be the guy that's gonna go in there and is gonna start passing business cards out like they're fucking like nobody really cares. Like, don't seem desperate. Don't go in there and start passing your business cards. Go in there with a genuine intention of creating a relationship with the people that are there. And then networking events. We did what was those events that we sponsored and Mitchell made us sponsor?
I forgot. It was
Anyway,
a
so-
toy drive though, so it was.
Yeah, it was a toy drive, but like we did some other after. Like, he's like, oh, let's sponsor this. We can get a lot of leads. Those events, they're good. There's realtors usually there, but the big dogs of the industry that you really want to hook up with and like create a good key relationship, they're not gonna be at those events, guys. It's good if you're starting out, kind of get a feel. And also, it's going to build your social skills and your sales skills, because when you go to those events, you're pretty much selling yourself, right? Not only yourself, but you're selling your business. It's good practice for repetition to kind of explain to people what you're doing. They're great for that. But the more you grow, the more you want to be aggressive with growing your business. I don't know. Networking events.
90% of the time, it's people looking for work there.
Yeah.
90% of the people there, you just go out with 10, 20 business cards from realtors. So if you're looking to buy or sell, thanks,
I remember I used to go to those events and I would come back home like a stack of fucking business cards. I'm like, I'm never gonna reach out to those people. I'll just throw them out. That's how it goes. If you meet somebody though, networking events are great to like meet other contractors that you can collaborate and then use their services. If you have a growth mindset and you go into these events, you're like, okay, where can I make some strategic partnerships here that they're gonna make money for both of us? That's the mindset. I go to networking events, and even in Vegas when we like a few weeks ago when we went there, I didn't go there trying to get business from anybody. I was there. I'm like, okay, how can I bring value to this guy, or how can I use his services, or is he good at what he's doing that I can use his services and bring more work in?
Happy customers. We've talked about it. Customer referrals, when downselling, obviously, when you do an amazing job and they kind of feel obligated at the end. Hey, your sphere of influence, do you have 5 other people that, they may need painting? Or if you send me this amount of leads, just make them, feel obligated to,
I was YouTubing a couple nights ago, and I see this epoxy company. So what they do is after the project is done, they send to the customer brownies and cookies. I'm like, that's fucking genius. They send they'll drop like brownies and cookies to their customers, and then they'll have like a card that they can give out referrals to their sphere of influence, and then they have a QR code that's gonna lead them to their Google website to leave a review. I'm like, that's fucking genius. That's a great strategy. Which I'm like, we're pretty slammed right now. We haven't. Like me, I'll get random ideas, but they'll go in my ideas drawer until I'm like, okay, let's test this. But I was like, this is great. And if you're starting out, those are like the little gestures that you can do to increase the LTV and kind of be a good person that you try and get more work and you try to increase the retention of your customer and then get more leads. Because like we said, when you're starting out, you don't have a lot of money to put in, but you have time. So that's a great way to build your network and make your customers that you already did work for and they're super happy to make them want to refer you out more. Those are like little gestures that you can do. I was like, I want to talk about it in the podcast. That was a great way if you're a started up business to build that retention with your customers. Maybe somebody out there that's starting out can start dropping off some cookies and brownies to their customers and let us know how that goes. I'll be very curious. But yeah, happy customers, they're like a gold mine that you can utilize to bring more customers in, because every time we get a referral from a customer, we always go out in person, because the probability of closing that job that comes from a referral of a previous happy customer, it's super high. No matter what the project is, we always go out on those, because you have like a third party credibility check. Like homeowner A, you did phenomenal work for them, and now homeowner B got referred to you from homeowner A, so they already kind of trust you. They kind of already did the legwork for the trust part. Like, hey, these guys are great. They did the phenomenal work. So you're kind of halfway there. So now it's up to you to price right, and then, make sure the project is a good fit. And then the job is pretty much yours. Like every time we get a referral and we go out there, we always close a job. Always. What is your customer referral process? So let's dive in a little bit of that. So I'm going to use Karmelo as my customer. Karmelo, I just painted your cabinets. You're super happy with them. Obviously, I'm not dropping off brownies to you yet, but I'm going to explain to Karmelo at the end of the job, and it's either us doing it or our sales reps or our project managers, like, hey, we always ask for a Google review, and we always ask for 5 people that they think they can text and then get us in contact that they would love the service. So that's pretty much our process of how to get a referral. Like, hey, Karmelo, were you happy 100% with everything that we did for you?
Very satisfied.
Awesome. Do you think you can put me in group chat with like 2 to 5 people that they could utilize this service, or they might want their cabinets painted, or they might want their exterior painted?
I think I have a few people in mind that they were talking about getting some projects done. Let me see what I can do for you.
Do you think you can put us in a group chat?
Yeah, I could do that for you.
And make an introduction?
Yeah, I'll introduce you to Larry and David. So, because I've heard that they're looking to get, Larry wants his cabinets painted and David wants his exterior done.
Awesome. Yeah, man, I would really appreciate that. And then if Larry ends up going with us, we have a great referral program. Larry gets a discount as friends and family. And then we have different incentives that we can do for you. We can do a cash referral fee. We can get you a gift card for dining at any restaurant of your liking. It's up to you, man. All parties win. You know, it helps me keep my schedule busy. It helps me keep my guys busy. Your friend gets a discount and a phenomenal service like the one you got, and we'll you know, whatever you like, we can do for you.
Oh, well, let me get right on that.
So it usually doesn't go like that.
Yeah.
They won't be like, let me get right on that. That's why I like also doing after a week goes by or 2 weeks go by. If you want to get really aggressive with this, you can be like, hey, what was
Larry and David.
No, okay. Hey, Karmelo, how's your project looking? Everything good? How you enjoying your kitchen cabinets? How's your exterior looking? Have you gotten any compliments? Keeping that, like that, keeping the point of touch is like, hey, how's everything looking? Are you happy with everything? I know the week, 2 weeks have gone by. Anything that we missed? Just checking on them, and then based on the response, you can ask again, like, hey, did you ever get a chance to talk to Larry and David about those exterior projects? And because people forget, or you're not their top priority, and based on their answer, you can ask again. I mean, obviously, you don't want to be too annoying. If they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting on it, you're not gonna be like, hey, guess what? You told me about it. You're not doing it. You're not gonna get passive aggressive. Just do one more touch. Usually, after the second touch, it's just like we either get the referrals
Or not.
or not.
Don't go
And then we end it right there. We're not gonna be like, hey man, what the heck?
Where's Larry?
Where's Larry? Where's David? Or
David.
like, don't.
Give me his address.
Yeah. That's an aggressive way that, you know, you have to do a little bit extra legwork, and then you make those two touches, and then I would say 50% of the time you're going to get those free leads by checking with your current happy customers. And then how do you make sure every client leaves happy? The personal guarantee, and then no payment is due until the product is completed to the customer satisfaction. Like, for example, like this lady that's being a pain in the fucking ass right now with the door. We're like, okay, lady, until the door is done to your satisfaction, like you're not gonna pay us. So we'll go fix it tomorrow, and then she'll be happy. We always make sure they're happy, no matter what. You're gonna go strip that door. That's another thing. So, okay, our guys are great for the most part. They do good work, but sometimes things don't they're not the customer's liking. Sometimes you'll be dealing with a customer that's too picky. Always we make sure, no matter what it is, we're not there just to chase the dollars. We're there to make sure the customer is happy. We'll go out there tomorrow. We're going to make sure the door is done right, me and my brother. So we bring that value like, hey, I know we're the business owners. I know we have other things to do, but you are our top priority right now. You being happy and satisfied with this door, it's our top priority. So customer, even the most annoying customers will appreciate that, because, for example, tomorrow it's a Sunday. We could be doing anything else in the world, but we are there fixing that door for them. And then you want to use the example with the cabinets too. We had one happen recent too. And me and Karmelo, again, on a Sunday, we're like, okay, do not worry. Whatever it takes, we're going to come out there and make sure you're 100% satisfied. When you approach this situation like that and you're not being aggressive and you're not like going back and forth with them, they appreciate it. And even the pain in the ass customers, they turn out to be nice customers. I like that guy referred us to another one that he was being the hardest. Oh my God, that guy was a nightmare. I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to Redion 2018 and go off on him. But I was like, you know what? Let's just be, what do you call it?
I would say you never really want to butt heads with them.
Yeah.
So even if the requests were outrageous, we still got it done because
exactly, we were there, we took care of it. Screw it, Again, we walk the talk. If we say our customers are top priority, no matter what it takes, even if we have to lose money, we're gonna make sure that customer is happy. Unless like something extreme and then being, they're pushing the limits and you're like, you know what, man, you're just being too much. There's nothing we can do to make you happy. You know what? Just pay me what you owe me, and then I'll deduct some money, and then we'll move on. Sometimes out of 100 customers,
you'll get that.
2 of them will be like that, and you have to deal with it. Anything else that you'd like to touch on that?
I think that's it. If you guys want the scripts, reach out to us. We'll gladly send them over to you so if you want to tweak it or if you want to implement it, and let us know if it helped out or if it worked for you.
Yeah, send us a DM on either Karmelo's social media or mine, and then we'll send you guys a script, and then you can start using them for for your own outreach campaigns. And this will wrap up this episode of Dirty Painters Podcast.
Be sure to follow our business on Instagram at Olympian Painting and also our personal pages, Olympian_Redion, Olympian_Karmelo, and also keep up with the Dirty Painters Podcast.
If you like this episode, be sure to share with a fellow painter or tradie. Until next time, this is Redion.
And I'm Karmelo.
Signing off on the Dirty Painters Podcast.
Adios.
Thank you, guys.